Towers Falling, Field Trip, pages 169 through 173. I didn't lie, just told Mom Pop off to school, and I am. I make sure I keep my hoodie up and my chin down. I hope nobody recognizes me. I skip across the school steps on my way to the subway. There, 5 skips worth. I was at school. I stuff my hands in my pockets. It's mid-October. Ma says she's going to find me a coat at Goodwill. We haven't gone yet. Pop's worse. He sleeps all the time. Ma says Pop is depressed. When she's not working, she stays in our room making sure he eats, dragging him by the hand to the cafeteria. He seemed better after we saw Miss Garcia, like they shared something. He stopped complaining about my lessons, but Pop is always like this, better than worse. I heard Mom on her cell phone crying, telling Auntie Rita he might have to go to the hospital. She thought us kids were asleep. While in the dark, we wept. She wept, whispering into the tiny metal phone. Too much, she said, too long. Nothing helps. I shivered in bed. I wasn't supposed to be this cold. I tucked Lita's icy feet against my tummy. During the fall, Pop always gets extra gloomy. I stop, catch my breath. No, every September, Pop gets worse. Why didn't I connect it sooner? September, Pop starts to unravel, becoming sad and distant. I just connected his moods to Thanksgiving and Christmas. Holidays are when I want most for our family to be happy. Like the white families on TV and in magazines eating turkey, opening presents, and playing board games. He never played board games. I can't remember when Ma last baked a turkey. My last gift was a ribbon. Nauseous, I close my eyes. I feel Brooklyn swirling about me, people chattering, feet stomping, and taxi horns honking. I want to scream quiet, but the noisy city won't mind me. Am I doing the right thing? Maybe I should stay in Brooklyn, leave it alone. Forget 9/11, wondering what it means to Pop, to our family and me. Forget everything except I'm in the best school I've ever been. Avalon isn't so bad. Ma has a job and I'm getting older every day. In high school, I might get a job at McDonald's. I'll buy Lita a baby doll, Ray a race car. I'll give my pay to Ma. Cuckoo, woo woo. I look skyward. Ma says New York has tons of birds, but mostly folks are so busy, streets so loud, people miss seeing them. Cuckoo, woo woo. I search the trees. A mourning dove. See, Deja? It's slender, small-headed, grayish-brown with dark eyes. I remember Ma stooping beside me, her arms around my waist, her fingers pointing at a maple. See? I see it to my left is the tallest tree. Coo, coo, woo, woo. Mourning doves sound like they're crying. I want to cry. But I bet on Brooklyn streets no one would notice or care, and I clench my fists. Wings whistling, the dove takes off, ascending, then it lands, whistling on a tree just above me. I whistle, sharp and sweet. The dove's head tilts. He looks at me. Coo, coo, woo, woo. I remember Ma said doves fly straight and powerful. Maybe that's why their wings whistle. They aren't really sad. Or if they are, it doesn't stop them from flying, going where they want to go. I can stay at Avalon, stay at school, just stay, but nothing about my family will change. I know it. Ma and Pa are stuck. Maybe seeing where the tower stood, I might help Pop. Ma, all of us, get unstuck. Get out of Avalon and move on to a better life. It's a slim hope, but it's all I have. I inhale. I'm Deja, the original, one and only. I don't want to be stuck. Whistling, the dove takes off, flies, point A to point B. Whistling, I take off too, running, flying down the street. On the ground, I have to weave around people, trees, lampposts, and trash cans. But I still feel good. I'm like I'm flying. Moving is better than going nowhere. I see Ben. I whistle sharp. He's got his backpack, and it makes me feel good that he's prepared. He's a good friend. And I move toward him. As I move toward him, I wonder maybe he has a reason too, not just for me, but for him. Subway, 174 through 188. An extra pair of gloves. Thanks, Ben. I put on the gloves and the subway ding-dings. The doors close and the train lurches. Even though it's October, it feels like winter. Last night felt colder than the North Pole. There's no room to sit. We grab hold of a silver pole. I'm still huffing, breathing deep. Right above our heads, 2 tall men in thick coats and knit caps hold the pole, talking about the Knicks. Beneath their arms, I glimpse folks sitting to the right and left. Everyone is bundled warm. And are we on the right train? Yeah, C-train, northbound to Chambers, World Trade Center. Figuring it out was easy. Seems like it ought to be hard. Yeah, I know. The train is packed. Mainly grown-ups going to work, tourists, 2 men with their babies, the kid in the stroller. Kicking her feet looks like Lita. The other is in an infant sling. Nobody notices me and Ben. Warm breaths, sweaty bodies make fog, clouding the windows. The train rocks and sways. I'm warmer than I've felt all day. Avalon is an icebox. I like the buzz of voices, the slippery seats, the bright lights, the posters blaring, study computers, become a dental assistant. Another poster, a scary brown and gray with a grim policeman, says, "Have you spoken to your kids about drugs?" I start worrying again. I wish this was a happy adventure. Ben's cap is pulled over his ears. Even though it's warm in the train, his cheeks are still red. The encyclopedia says Arizona is famous for sun and blue skies. Was it hard coming to New York? I hated the plane, Ben blinks. I know what he's thinking. At least my plane didn't slam into a tower. I've never been on a plane, I said. I've never been on a subway until I came to New York. Look at this. He pulls a folded map from his jacket. The train lurches and slows to a stop. Folks push, trying to leave the train. Other folks shove, trying to get in. Here, Ben pulls me toward an Asian couple lifting shopping bags. 2 seats. We slip into them and they get up and high five. Score. You're a good traveler, Ben. He grins. You have to be quick in New York. He unfolds and spreads out maps on our laps. Look, Deja, isn't it beautiful? Complicated lines, parallel, horizontal, intersecting, crossing lines. Blue lines, red, orange, green, and yellow. The sea line is blue. Beneath the earth, subway lines snake up and around Central Park. Some lines merge, others stretch to and from Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, and Manhattan. It all flows. You can get anywhere you want. In Arizona, everyone had cars. If you didn't drive, you didn't go anywhere. What about your horse? Blaze? His name is Blaze. He never left the ranch. We had trails, some special places. We'd pitch camp near red boulders or else by the dry creek bed where I'd dig for fish fossils. Mostly Blaze grazed beneath mesquites while I read. I almost say something dumb like, "You must miss it." I clamp my lips shut. Ben sniffs and, beneath his glasses, wipes his eyes. I want to kick myself for making him feel bad. For about a year, we lived in town in an apartment. I kept thinking Mom and Dad would get back together. I'd get back to the ranch. It's better here, living in New York. I know I'll never go back, at least not till I'm grown. Not even to visit? Our bodies sway, bumping into each other. Across the aisle, a woman sleeps, her head thrown back, her mouth open. A gray-haired man with an unlit pipe rattles his newspaper. Ben turns, his eyes mournful. "Deja, my dad doesn't call much, hardly at all. Mom says some people try to forget the past, forget whatever happened. How can you forget a kid? He might change, want to remember." "You think so?" Then Ben shrugs. "Not sure he wants to remember Afghanistan or arguing with my mom. Mom says it's nobody's fault. They grew apart." I feel sick, sad. Me and Ben are alike, except he knows what's happening to his dad. My pop didn't go to war, but he's been disappearing just the same. Surprising me, Ben smiles. "I don't have Blaze, don't have a pasture to ride, but I can travel underground all over New York, from Brooklyn to the World Trade Center. I don't have to wait for my mom to drive me." He pulls out a red pen from his backpack. "Look at all the places. We can go. Arizona Ben is going to show me Manhattan," I say, kind of sarcastic, but not too much. The train turns. Our shoulders bump each other like another high five. On the map, Ben circles Central Park. He circles the Metropolitan Museum of Art. That's where Claudia ran to. Who? Claudia, from the mixed-up files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. The museum is supposed to be beautiful. Paintings, drawings, sculptures from all over the world. He circles Lincoln Center. What do they do there? Ballet, music, theater. Expensive? There are discounts, half-price tickets for Broadway. I want to see Wicked, a musical about the witches of Oz. I bend over and look down. What are you doing? Checking to see if you're still a cowboy, wearing your boots. Everybody knows New York City is the greatest city in the world. I didn't know that, I answer irritably. Ben's shocked, I can tell. Terrorists didn't bother with Phoenix. New York is great. Not everything is great, I murmur, feeling crankier and crankier. Mostly I know Brooklyn. What's wrong with knowing Brooklyn? Everything can be found right here in New York City in the US of A. I look down the rows of orange subway seats at the people leaning against the gripping poles. Some are fat, some thin, some old, some young. A homeless man is riding the subway, I can tell. He's wearing all the clothes he owns. None of them are clean. There are men in black wool coats with leather gloves and soft scarves about their necks, women in high heels with jewelry and painted nails who aren't desperate for food. Billboards in Brooklyn show beautiful, fancy-dressed people. No one in Avalon is half as pretty as these models, but some of the subway people come close. If you have money, it's easier to look better, prettier. It's true in Brooklyn. It's true in Manhattan. I bet it's true in Arizona, too. Angry, I squirm. Borrowed gloves, no puffy down jacket, no hat or scarf like Ben. Maybe I should wear everything I own. I'd be warmer. Being warmer might be better than pretending I can dress normal on a cold day. Then it dawns on me. Central Park must have been free. Ben shakes my arm. His face is serious, and I feel like he can see right inside me, like he knows I want to hit something. Ben pulls out his sketchbook. He draws fast. The pretty woman, the tired construction worker, the happy new mom, and the homeless man, Asian and Hispanic people, black and white people, gentlemen with warm coats and potbellies, a young man with headphones, low jeans, and underwear showing, a toddler waving at the homeless man. Look, Deja. Ben's talking to me with straight and curvy lines, shades, and light. Ben sees differences, every person special and connected. I exhale, relax, then I start to laugh. Social units, Miss Garcia would be so proud of us. All of us on the subway are part of a circle. American. As if Ben could read my mind, he writes, making it look like graffiti. You're cool, Ben. I didn't know it, but you've always been cool. I know. The subway lurches and another wave of people goes out, comes in. But why the World Trade Center? Mom says it's represented capitalism, American wealth, opportunities. Ma left Jamaica for a better life. Yeah, immigrants, people coming in for the American dream. I stare as Ben draws. You can tell how much he likes people. He sees everyone as equal. That's how he, Sabine too, sees me. Money might be part of the American dream, but it isn't all of it. It's like a building doesn't make a home. Ben nods. We might be poor, but Ma didn't go back to Jamaica. Sabine's family is richer, but they didn't go back to Turkey. They're Americans. Yeah, American. Then I crack up laughing until my sides ache. People look at me, but I can't stop. Some folks smile. The man holding the rail above me chuckles. Ben laughs. Why are we laughing? You know our history book, the cover. Ben's eyebrows wrinkle. You know, those white men with funny shoes, stockings, and wigs signing the Declaration of Independence. Ben, come on, 1776? Ben grins. They started it, the American dream. Look at America now, I say, pointing at Ben's drawings. He grins and sketches a cloud over the subway train. Leaning over the cloud, looking down, is a wrinkled white man with white glasses. Ben Franklin? Ben sketches more. Who's that? My grandmother. She's dead. She left Mexico for a better life. 14. She came to America by herself. I can't imagine doing that. Maybe before I go back to Arizona, I'll visit Mexico. I'm sure I have relatives there. Ben's loneliness is peeking out. I can't imagine being an only kid, plus having separate parents. Your grandmother was brave, just like my ma. Your mother, too. I never thought of it like that. He closes his sketchbook, stuffing it into his backpack. He pauses, then nods, blinking behind his glasses. It must have been hard leaving Arizona. Yeah, he said, sounding happier. My mom dreams. That's why we're in New York. I lean back against the seat. Does Pop dream anything other than bad dreams? We're already in America, but maybe we should move to Arizona. Maybe the whole family could ride horses, swift and strong. Ben opens his tin with painted yellow flowers. Sabine wanted to come. She doesn't like breaking rules. Nope. She made sweets, he said. Sappy, sappy, sappy. Better than sour, I chuckle. An elderly woman dressed in a black shirt and a wool coat with shawl leans against Ben, her fingers pointing. Ah, baklava, my mother used to make. Want one? She clasps her wrinkled hands. Good boy. Her fingers pluck a brown, flaky baklava. I pluck one, too. I've never tasted baklava. Inside, it's crunchy with nuts and sweet with syrup. Maybe Sabine's right about following the rules. The taste turns sour. My stomach knots. I clutch the tin. Napkins are stuffed on the side. I wrap my half-eaten baklava. I'm going to throw it away, but I don't want to waste Sabine's gift. Stop, shouts Ben, zipping his backpack. We squeeze past people. Near the exit, I hand the tin to the homeless man. Opening it, he sighs, happy. Ah! The subway doors close. Through the window, I see the homeless man offering a baklava to his neighbor. The flowered tin passes person to person. Folks on the subway train smile, just like earlier. Many of them laugh. Funny, their happiness makes me feel worse, that I'm doing something wrong. Ben and me are going to be in big trouble. Worse, not for seeing something good, for seeing something bad. Ben, I'm scared. I know, me too.